Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with Chris,
What up?
rocking the merch. Let's go. Anyways, today we're gonna be working on the axle for my Jeep that's been sitting there for how many weeks?
More like a year.
Pretty much, since I got the other Jeep. So let me show you the axle. So this is the axle right here. It is a stock axle, Dana 30. But it has matching gears, 410s, and I have 410s in the rear currently in my Jeep. So this is what I need to put in so we can have 4x4. But we do have to change up some things. I already got this mount welded. This is for the Trail Forge track bar over the axle track bar. And what we need to change out, what I want to do is replace the wheel bearings because this has been sitting outside in the rain. And then replace the axle shafts as well, just put new ones in there. And I have new ball joints as well. So we're gonna get it all taken care of. Make sure this is all fresh for the Jeep. And then we got to change the bushing on the upper control arm axle side. We're gonna put the iron walk in there. I have it in my other axle that's currently on the Jeep, so we're gonna try to take it off and put it in here if we can, just to save some money. And before we get started with the axle swap, make sure to check out NajarOffroad.com. Pick up some Jeep parts. This month we are doing a sweepstakes for a winch, so don't miss out on that. Make sure to check it out. Link will be in the description. So we got the parts from Detroit Axle off of eBay. These are pretty affordable. And the thing with Detroit Axle, they are a US company. They have a manufacturer here in the States. So the axle shafts are actually rebuilt axle shafts from the research that I did. And then the wheel bearings, damn, these are heavy. And then the wheel bearings here, they are made in China. But I feel like most aftermarket parts are. And I was gonna buy aftermarket anyways, so just went with Detroit Axle for the price. And you can see their headquarters is in Detroit, Michigan. So just so you guys are aware. And then we did get some Spicer ball joints here. These have been sitting in the toolbox, so they look a little dirty, but it's just because they've been sitting in there. Actually, bro, that shit looks used, huh? Yeah. What the fuck? You guys look at that. It looks like that's cut up, and then look at that, it looks like it's been pressed in already. I guess we won't be doing ball joints today. All right, so first things first, to take this off, we are going to loosen up the 3 bolts back here that hold on the wheel bearing. Then afterwards we'll remove the nut that's up here. Check this out, it's all dirty. So for these, you're gonna need a 13 mil 12-point socket. And a suggestion that I have before you try to loosen these up, try tightening it a little bit. You're gonna hear the bolt crack. That way you don't strip the head of the bolt. All right, you heard that? The bolt is now gonna loosen up. If Chris can step on it. There we go. Easy. Same thing on the other sides. Tighten it so it gets loose. And then you can loosen it up. Ready? 3, 2. There we go. Now step on the other side. Right here. There we go. It's too easy. So we got all the 3 bolts loosened up. Next thing is we are gonna take off the nut up here. 36 mil nut. We gotta take off the cotter pin first. And we got it out. So now time to take out the 36, and Chris has a special way of doing that. Makes it easy. Oh, and before you do any of this, definitely hit all the bolts with some WD-40. It'll make everything way easier to remove. We got the Earthquake right here, Harbor Freight Special. This thing works. Check that out. Easy.
Look how rusty it is.
Easy. Super rusty, and it took it out. I didn't even spray this one with WD-40. So now we can loosen up the wheel bearing bolts and we'll be good. Bam. So now we got that out, and now we can take the axle shaft out since we're replacing that as well. Next step is we're gonna take off this piece here. We have to remove the cotter pins from the ball joints, take off the nuts, then we can take off the knuckle. And these ball joints on the other side, they were good, so I'm hoping these are good too. That way I don't have to replace them. And then we have spare ball joints for the future. Bottom is 1 1/8 inches. Top one is a 22 mil. Easy. Top one, we're gonna do the same thing, tighten it and then loosen it up. That just helps break the bolt without stripping the nut. Now the next step is we have to whack this. I try to hit it up here, and Chris is gonna do that. All right. And wait. And make sure you put a nut on to catch the knuckle. That way it doesn't just fall down. There. Nice. And it's off. All right, so we got it off. Now we're gonna clean it up. We used a vacuum in here to take out any dirt, and then up here it has a lot of grease, so we're just using a scraper, cleaning it up. It used to look like that on this side, and now it's pretty clean. We're still gonna pressure wash it, prep it for paint. All right, so we got this wire wheel here on the Milwaukee. Woo! Let's go, baby.
Yeah, we gotta upgrade our battery.
Jeez. $300 battery right there. Hey, test it out right here on the old sticker. Let's see how it does. down to bare metal. So we're just gonna do a quick pass through and then get it ready for paint. Since I don't have a new bushing from Iron Rock, we're gonna try to reuse this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off this. I already took off the springs and loosen up the shocks so that we get droop. So now I'm gonna loosen this up and hope that we can take this out, or else I'm gonna have to order a new one. So we got the control arm off. Now we're gonna have to take this bushing apart so we can remove the sleeve. It's not sketchy if it works. We have the Iron Rock tool. We're gonna cut this a little bit just because the socket isn't long enough. But it's coming out, so I think we can reuse it. So we were able to get it out with this. Afterwards, I put the nut back on, and with this side, I put it underneath the bushing, and then I hit out that little washer. So we are good to go. Next up on the axle swap, take everything apart. All right, so now I'm taking off the brakes. Gonna start taking this apart. The knuckles, we're just gonna take them off here and then put them on the new axle. Everything taken apart here. Got the knuckle there, and we're gonna work on the other side. Have to remove the track bar and the steering stabilizer, and then we should be able to swap it over. All right, so we got everything disconnected now. Looks like a mess, because it is a mess. But now we can take that out, move that one in, and we're almost there, baby. Woo!
Hey, we still rocking Crocs, though.
Crocs?
Sir.
Berks, baby.
Crocs.
Berks. What do you guys say? Crocs or Berks? Leave it in the comments below. These are way more comfortable than those. These actually mold to your feet. What do those do? Make your feet stink. Okay, so we are back. Day 2 of the axle swap. Pretty much day 3. Pretty much day 3.
You mean a year and 6 months?
Yeah, okay, it's like 3 years. But we are at this point. Yesterday we bolted up the control arms just to have it in place. So now we can start putting everything back together. It was raining earlier, so the rotors got a little rust, but the brakes will clear it up. So this was my old setup. It's a 4.5-inch rusty spring with a spacer from Rough Country, 0.75. So I had a total of about 5.25 inches of lift. These are 6-inch Clayton springs that we're gonna throw on just to see what it'll look like. To be fair, we don't even know where these came from, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
they were just in the garage.
They're in my garage.
So whoever gave us these springs, shout out to you, or if we bought them, shout out to you anyways, because we have them here. So let's go ahead and install those. All right, we got the Detroit axles, and we're gonna go ahead and install them. These are pretty simple, just slide right in. Just gotta make sure you don't damage the seal over here, and we should be good. All right, so we're pretty much finishing up the axle install. We did have some dirt in the tubes come in, but we sprayed it down with some brake cleaner. We used this nylon buffer wheel to clean up the mating surfaces on the differential and the differential cover. That way we removed all the old gasket stuff. For the new gasket, we actually got a real gasket. So this I got off of Amazon. I have it linked down below. This is just so we don't have to wait for this to dry. We just put this on, put some oil in, and go straight to driving. All right, so there it is. Everything's tightened up. We just have to align the track bar. I think it needs to come out this way a little bit. Since we put in 6-inch coils. Let me see if I get a shot for you guys. I don't know if it'll be easy to see, but the front is 6 inches Clayton springs. The rear is 4.5 inch. Looks definitely a little bit more lifted in the front, but not too bad. Kind of gives it that look like when people cut off the fender here. A little bit more open, and yeah, I think it should be fine. So we're gonna measure to make sure that the axle is centered. If it is, we're gonna tighten up the track bar and then take it for a test drive. If not, oh, actually we have to fill it up with oil. I'm gonna do that now before I forget. So there is the axle swap. It's all good. We drove it. No leaks on the diff too with that seal, so that's good news. But yeah, that's what it is. That's with the 6-inch in the front, 6.5 in the rear. Check that out. Let's go. I need to clean everything up and then put on the steering stabilizer, but that's pretty much it. Anyways, see you guys on the next video. Peace.